What is Uniswap? How is it different from centralized exchanges? And how can we use Uniswap to earn money? I'm going to explain all these to you in this video, so grab some coffee or tea and sit tight. Uniswap is a decentralized permissionless exchange that allows everyone to exchange ETH and any ERC tokens on the Ethereum blockchain directly through your Ethereum wallet. You do not need any intermediary account like on Robinhood or Coinbase. Well, if that doesn't make any sense to you, then let me explain in simple English. Well, first, we need to understand how the traditional exchange works. The traditional exchanges like Coinbase and Robinhood are centralized exchanges, meaning there is a company that provides the exchange service and has control over the funds. They are regulated by the KYC, Know Your Customer law. This law requires everyone that opens an account on its platform to give extensive information about themselves, like where they live, their tax IDs, and so on. And users need to deposit funds into their accounts before they can start trading. This gives those exchanges full control over your funds, meaning they can prolong or deny your withdrawal from the exchanges. And when you do a buy or a sell on those exchanges, they use the order book to record your buy or sell orders. The more orders on both buy and sell side, the better chance that a buy or sell order is matched. This is also called the liquidity of an exchange. The more liquidity, the better. Oftentimes, exchanges ask external market makers to provide the liquidity on both buy and sell side. And when there is a match between the buy and sell order, the price of the trade is agreed at that moment, and the exchange then executes the order. Now, most people think that after the order execution, the buying and selling is then complete because it appears so in their account. Well, in fact, it is far from being completed. It still has to go through a clearing and settling process outside of the exchange through a clearinghouse. And that is why exchanges like Robinhood have a T+2 requirement. Well, early last year, when GameStop price was skyrocketing, Robinhood had to halt the trading because of this. If you don't understand the clearing and settlement process, don't worry, it's not what we are focusing on. So just think of it as an extra necessary step for the traditional exchanges. And this extra step also has a risk known as the counterparty risk. That basically means one of the parties that involved in the trade has the likelihood of defaulting on its obligation of either delivering the shares or the money. Well, that sounded a bit complicated, maybe a topic for another video. Now let's talk about the decentralized exchanges or DEX. Unlike the traditional exchanges, DEX is not owned and controlled by any company, so its operation is not dependent on any single entity. Rather, it is dependent on a network of independent computers. People like you and me can also join the network to become a validator. Since the DEX are not controlled by anyone, they cannot be regulated the same way as traditional exchanges. So the KYC rule doesn't apply here, and everyone can use a DEX. There is also no need to open an account or deposit any funds. The users are in full control over their funds and they can perform the exchange directly using their own wallet. As I mentioned earlier, the traditional exchanges use order books to provide liquidity. The DEX doesn't have any order books, so the liquidity comes from so-called liquidity pools. Those liquidity pools are basically a shared pool of funds deposited by anyone that wants to be a liquidity provider. People like you and me all can be a liquidity provider on the DEX. Being a liquidity provider will also earn you a portion of the trading fees whenever a trade executes. In traditional exchanges, the price of the trade is agreed and order is executed when a buy matches a sell. So the price of any trading asset is always updated to the latest buy and sell match. Now in DEX, the price of the trade and the order execution is determined by the smart contract. which is a set of automated algorithms. The most used algorithm is called the Automated Market Maker, the AMM. The AMM follows a simple formula: X times Y equals K. X and Y represent the amount of token A and B in the trading pair. And the multiplication of X and Y should always be a constant K. Now here's how it works. Let's say there is a trading pair ETH to USDC, and there is 10 ETH and 10,000 USDC in this trading pair's liquidity pool. So the K is 10 times 10,000 equals 100,000. Now if someone wants to buy 1 ETH, how much USDC should he pay? The way to calculate this is to take the constant K, which is 100,000 in this case, and divide it by the new ETH amount, which would be 9. And this would give us the result of 11,111. So this means he would need to pay 1,111 USDC to get 1 ETH. The price is dependent on how much you want to buy. The more you want to buy, the more the price goes up. The AMM design tries to minimize the volatility by disencouraging large orders, because if someone wants to buy 9 ETH in this example, he would have to pay 90,000 USDC for it. But currently, the token price are nothing but volatile, because there are thousands of people conducting the trade at the same time. And you also need to be aware of the price slippage that often occur during your transaction. The price slippage is the difference between your expected price and the actual price. The cause of slippage is because any trade on Uniswap is actually an Ethereum transaction, and it takes few minutes, sometimes hours, to confirm a transaction on Ethereum, depending on the network congestion level. And by the time the transaction is broadcasted and confirmed, the actual price has already changed. Usually, if you're willing to pay a higher gas fee, which is basically the transaction fee, your order goes through faster. But nevertheless, you can set your slippage tolerance on Uniswap, so if the slippage goes out of your range, the transaction will be cancelled. Now let's talk about the different ways to earn money by using a DEX like Uniswap. Now the most common way is to be a liquidity provider. Being a liquidity provider will earn you a portion of the total trading fees dependent on how much you provide. Uniswap charges a 0.3% fee on all trades, and all the trading fees goes to the liquidity providers because there is no company that is benefiting from it. This is purely to incentivize normal people like you and me to provide liquidity for the exchange. This is also known as liquidity mining. Being a liquidity provider means you need to provide equal value of both tokens in a trading pair. And here's how it works. Let's use the same example, ETH to USDC pair. Let's say you want to provide 1 ETH into the liquidity pool. Then how much USDC equals 1 ETH that you also need to provide? The way to calculate this is rather simple. Because currently we have 10 ETH and 10,000 USDC, which means 1 ETH equals 1,000 USDC. So if you add 1 ETH into the liquidity pool, you would also need to add 1,000 USDC in the pool to maintain the same ratio. Then it would be 11 ETH and 11,000 USDC in the liquidity pool. And the trading fee you earn for that 1 ETH and 1,000 USDC is 9% of the total trading fees on this ETH to USDC pair. This is because you provided 9% of the total liquidity in this trading pair. Now, there is of course risk involved in this. You need to be aware of the impermanent loss that occurs when either of the token price moves up or down much faster than the other token in the trading pair. This is a very complicated topic that deserves its own video, so if you guys are interested, then please leave a comment to let me know. Now, the second way to earn money is to perform arbitrage among different DEXs, meaning you can take advantage of the price difference on different exchanges. Here's an example. If you find out that on one DEX, ETH is trading at 1000 USDC, but on another DEX, it is trading at 1005 USDC. There is a price discrepancy of 5 USDC between these two DEXs. So you could buy ETH for 1000 USDC on one DEX and sell it immediately afterwards on another DEX at 1005 USDC, making a profit of 5 USDC. This strategy is good when the network is not congested and the gas fee is low, because when the network is congested, it takes time for transactions to go through and your arbitrage opportunity might be gone by then. And if you pay a higher gas fee, that would decrease the profit you take on the arbitrage. And if you pay a higher gas fee, that will decrease the profit you make on the arbitrage. There are also lots of arbitrage bots that can help you perform the arbitrage, but we are not going to dig into that today. Maybe a topic for another video. And that is DEX in a nutshell. I hope you learned something from this video. Please smash the like button if you enjoy this content and subscribe if you want to see more of it. Now that's it for this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!